Hey you folks, how's it going? My name is Lexi and I really love tabletop role-playing games. So much so that we sit down together once a week, every week, and we review one here at the gaming table. If that sounds interesting to you, I encourage you to press subscribe and keep watching. I really appreciate it when you folks interact with my videos. It tells YouTube that they should show more people my videos. If you want to do something extra special for the gaming table, there is a link in my description box to my Ko-Fi page where you can donate to the channel. All of those donations go straight back into the running costs of the channel, so it is deeply appreciated. I've started to put a little thank you card at the end of my videos just to thank the people who have donated in the previous month to the channel. Today I am taking a look at a game that I picked up because I saw that it was about caring for different critters and unusual beasties, something that I'm a bit of a sucker for. So today we are taking a look at Monster Care Squad from Sandy Pug Games. This game is set on the fantasy supercontinent of Old Amura. No one is quite sure how big the continent is. It's understood that it would take a really long time to cross it. There's a massive desert in the middle and it's surrounded by ocean and a huge major river. There's different levels of magic and technology depending on where you are in Old Amura. Some places are using things like steam engines and trains to get around. Other places like to rely on magic. It's a Ghibli-esque setting with a lot of pastoral elements. In general, people are trying to coexist with the world around them and live in harmony. Of course, for this world to live in harmony, every so often a fantastical beastie is going to need your help. There are collectives, cooperatives, unions, and big cities in this continent that potentially your game could explore. That might be unusual in some aspects. It might be hard to do husbandry and caretaking for a large fantastical beastie in a city, but that could also be the basis for a really interesting campaign, like an inner city rescue group. The setting mentions that law enforcement isn't really a thing, rather there are groups that are focused on elements like de-escalation and responding to natural disasters. Sustainable farming practices are commonplace and waste is seen as a shameful thing. It's an idealistic setting where you can assume people are trying their best to do the right thing and get a positive outcome for everyone and every being involved. However, there is something amiss. Occasionally, different creatures are infected with an insatiable rage and bloodlust. This phenomenon is called the false god. These beings tend to go on destructive rampages, and this is where the Monster Care Squad comes in. It is your job to help any beasties or creatures in need, and hopefully to one day find and stamp out the source of the false god. The game manual provides several potential suspects for who might have created or propagated the false god. Potentially, as your game goes on, there might be one that your players find is the culprit, or perhaps it might be another player that was in the shadows all along. The Monster Care Squad has no formal joining process or overarching registration or organization. This is the most worrying part for me. How do you ensure that everyone who says they're part of the Monster Care Squad is providing an adequate level of care? Members of the Monster Care Squad can come from all walks of life. But is there a code of conduct? Some kind of creed they need to follow? A central body that they can report any strange things to or any misdeeds? It seems like there isn't, and that to me is confusing. Maybe I'm overthinking it, or maybe this is an element of the setting that we are supposed to interrogate in our game. This game manual uses the Powered by the Apocalypse system. It's a system I'm pretty familiar with, so I'll give a really quick rundown. When you're playing a game and you want a character to do something, generally you roll 2d6, add the results on the die together, and then apply a modifier. Depending on how you roll, you might get a success, a partial success with some cost or consequence, or a failure. To roll these dice, you have to declare what move your character is taking. There are some moves in this game that are exclusive to certain character builds and others that are available to everyone. For the moves that are available to everyone, the game has put them into 3 broad categories. There's diagnosis moves, synthesis moves, and symbiosis moves. These 3 categories roughly describe the process of treating and rehabilitating monsters who need our help. A mechanic this game utilizes, which isn't common to all Powered by the Apocalypse games, are the use of clocks in the game, always for keeping time. In this game, a clock is a circle that's divided sort of into multiple pieces, and that can represent the action of things happening off-screen or the progress of some other plot point. The game master in this game is called the guide, and it is their job to employ their own special set of moves to advance the story for the players. Interestingly to me, the manual includes some rules to run the game as a solo role-playing game. I imagine potentially you could tweak these to run the game without a guide or potentially sharing that role out. I think the choice of Powered by the Apocalypse for the game's rule mechanics is a solid one. By choosing Powered by the Apocalypse, the moves that are built for the game can be based around these themes of caretaking and husbandry. It would be kind of weird if this game was made with a system that allowed you to just hit things fundamentally. This isn't a game where you're going to be hitting the monsters. The big draw for me to check out this game was the artwork in the game manual. I can happily say that it absolutely lived up to my expectations. There's so much beautiful art, and I think it absolutely inspires you to play the game and explore this world. Every time I would see a new creature across the page, I wanted to know more about that particular monster and what it needed. By itself, the manual is a treat just to enjoy as a piece of art. If you are looking for a game where you care for magical creatures rather than hunt them down, then Monster Care Squad is going to be a pretty good selection for your group. This is a game explicitly about trying to heal, negotiate, and bring harmony to the world. If you want a game where you would like to kill the dragon, then I don't think this is going to be the game for that. So I've seen this game listed for around $50 US. I had a really hard time getting myself a copy. I know this game had a pretty successful Kickstarter campaign and there were some physical copies available at some retailers. When I was looking to purchase a copy myself, they were all sold out and there didn't seem to be an indication of a second print run coming soon. So eventually, to get a copy of this game, I got a second-hand copy off of Abe Books, and together with shipping, it cost me almost $140 Australian. I really hope there is a second print run soon so people can get a copy of the book themselves. Yeah, there is a PDF available for $25, but I really liked the art and the way it's presented in the game manual, and a PDF doesn't quite do the same thing for me. So yes, I really had a time trying to get a copy of this game into my hands. Do you think it was worth it, or was I being a bit silly? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. While you're there, I encourage you to like this video and perhaps even share it with a friend who might find it interesting. If you want to keep up with the gaming table, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on notifications. So next time that I have a video coming out, YouTube will tell you. I really appreciate any and all interaction. I also want to thank everyone who has donated to my Ko-Fi page. All those donations go straight back into the running costs of the channel, and I've popped a little thank you at the end of my videos for everyone who has donated in the previous months. If you'd like to be on that little thank you, there is a link in my description box to my Ko-Fi page where you can donate to the channel. I want to thank you all for watching and discussing Monster Care Squad with me. I hope you're all well, and I look forward to seeing you next time at the gaming table. Bye!